Paul Graham from Optimal Body Personal Training. Today I'm going to talk about feeling nauseous during workouts and how to avoid it. When you start feeling nauseous during workouts, generally speaking, this means that your lactic acid levels are starting to hit close to your body's capacity of what it can handle. Your body has a whole bunch of defense mechanisms to try to prevent you from doing any long-term damage. So usually when you start approaching your lactic threshold, your body starts to make you feel a little bit lightheaded. It's almost like a quick kind of whew, and then it goes away. If you keep pushing through this, then oftentimes you'll feel a little bit dizzy or lightheaded. And then the next step typically is starting to feel a little bit nauseous. And if you've continued pushing through this, you'll start throwing up. One misconception we see, people start to feel nauseous and then we explain this to them. And they say, well, I must not be in very good shape then. When I used to work with high-level athletes, they used to get this feeling all the time too. Their conditioning was great. All this means, if you start feeling nauseous, is that you're working really hard and pushing the upper limits of what your body can handle right now in terms of lactic acid. As your conditioning improves, this capacity begins to increase higher and higher. Obviously, any of these sensations of getting lightheaded, dizzy, nauseous, or throwing up aren't going to make your workouts very enjoyable. So how do you avoid this? First, you want to pay attention to actually looking at when these symptoms start. Try to catch it as early as possible. And if it does happen, just take an extra 30 seconds to a minute or longer if needed to make sure you don't continue progressing towards feeling nauseous or throwing up. One thing to look at if you're frequently getting nauseous is your rest breaks. Are you taking appropriate rest periods? And then also looking at what am I trying to accomplish? So if you're just a general person who's trying to get a little bit leaner, build up a little bit more lean muscle, maybe lose a little bit of body fat, you want to be getting your heart rate up and you want to be working hard, but you don't need to be feeling nauseous or throwing up to get a good workout in that's going to help you progress to your goals. So if you're getting nauseous, try just increasing your rest break by a little bit and see if this starts to improve the situation. If it doesn't, increase those rest periods even longer. Eventually, you're going to hit a point where you're giving your body enough work to rest, where you're not going to be getting your lactic acid levels too high. Now, what do you do if you unfortunately push it a little bit too much and you start feeling nauseous or throwing up? The best thing to do is to get up and just walk around and move a little bit. Your body's probably going to make you want to sit down or lie down, but your body actually uses lactic acid as energy. So if you get up and walk around a little bit, you're actually going to clear that out of your system a little faster. So this might take just 1 or 2 minutes, or it could take up to 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how far past your lactic threshold you got. Hopefully you have a better understanding now of what causes nausea, how you can avoid that, and what to do if you start feeling nauseous. The biggest thing I want you to take away from this, if you're just a normal, regular person who wants to get more active, get fit, get lean, you don't need to be pushing into this threshold and making your workouts this horrible thing you have to try to push through. Make sure you're enjoying your workouts, you're having fun, and you want to keep consistently doing them.